Don't let the cute visuals fool you, the game is absolutely As we're gearing up for Halloween and the spookiest time of the year, there's no better reason to jump into a new horror game, and I'm here to help you find one. I'm David with the GDWC, and I just went through all of the horror games that were submitted to us in 2022, and I'm here to give you two lists actually. Psychological horror, and today's theme, visual novels / adventure games. Oh, and hey, make sure to subscribe to us so you don't miss the psychological horror video when it comes. So I've got 10 quirky and unique games for you, ranging from Lovecraftian horror to a 1920 freak circus and a cooking horror game. I told you, quirky. And I'll admit, I never really gave visual novel games a chance until last year when I played this game. Actually, you know what? This is a good segue. Let's jump into it. I was converted last Halloween by this game, Scarlet Hollow, Part 1, an episodic visual novel by Black Tabby Games. And they've kept working on the series with 2 more episodes available now. But that's not all. They've also recently released a demo for a completely different game, Slay the Princess. A completely normal princess who won't do anything weird. No, not at all, I swear. But seriously, don't let the charming characters fool you. The games from Black Tabby Games will catch you completely off guard with how creepy and scary the games actually are. And speaking of free, our next game is You Will Not Remain. It's just that, it's free. The game was created during the Women Game Jam 2021 and has you exploring an abandoned apartment complex as the city around you gets consumed by eldritch horror. The game's a short and sweet experience. You can easily see it all under 1 hour. Alright, I was hyping up the cooking horror game, so let's do that.
Cabbage!
Cooking Companions is next. The game isn't just a cooking horror game either, it's also sort of a dating sim, really. I feel like I don't need to say this again, it applies to pretty much every game on the list. Don't let the cute visuals fool you, the game is absolutely I mean, just take a look at this guy's review. The game has 11 endings and a nice touch. Vegan options. I feel like I chose the right t-shirt for this, unassuming but creepy. Next up is Psychroma, a 2D narrative adventure game where you play as a medium with a deck of tarot cards. You can manipulate time as you try and reach ghosts haunting the house. But the thing is, you can't remember how you got there in the first place. Check out the demo, it's out now on Steam. Alright, so the list is not complete without some proper Japanese horror. Corpse Factory is next. So get this, there's a website where you can request someone's death. For real. Sometime later, the victim receives a text with a photo of their corpse, showing them how they're gonna die hours before it happens. It's messed up. The game's out now for both Nintendo Switch and Steam. And hey, while we're on the topic of Japan, our next game is half visual novel, half JRPG. Frail Hearts, Versakori Dumlia, at least I think that's how it's pronounced, is a Lovecraftian game where you experience 4 characters and their stories as they fall deeper and deeper into madness. The art style, the color palettes, and pixel art make it really stand out from the list. Well, there you go, that's another great segue for our next game. Not Involved, another game with amazingly beautiful visuals. Here, you play as a plague doctor. You have to make choices that change the story as you progress, testing the limits of how far you'll go to save someone. The game might be beautiful, but it deals with heavy subject matter. Check it out, it's on both Android and itch.io for free. Okay, and I teased this one earlier in the intro. Vlad Circus, Descend into Madness is next. This pixel art adventure game is set in the 1920s, years after a circus is completely burned to the ground. So, you meet up with old friends and you all try and rebuild it. But obviously, it's not that easy. It never is. Some of these people cannot be trusted, nor can you trust yourself. Alright, we got 2 left. Our next game is Bad Faith. Okay, imagine this. In the middle of a peaceful lake, on an isolated island is Haven, a community and shelter for women who are pure of heart and mind. But one day, Magda decides to wander outside the community into the woods to sort of clear her mind. But what she discovers there is a mysterious building. And of course, she has to go in. The game was created entirely by one person. The game and demo are both available now on Steam. And finally, the last from the list, Loretta. A psychological thriller where Laura is miserable in her life as a housewife and actually just found out that her husband's been cheating on her. So, she decides to take matters in her own hands. So it's your job to cover up the crime if you can. And so those are the best visual novel and adventure games from GDWC 2022, as per my opinion. It's perfect time to jump into any of these games. And hey, I want to give actually a special shout out to If on a Winter's Night for Travelers, a horror influence point and click adventure game and winner of GDWC 2021's hobby category. The game is free on Steam and an absolute favorite of mine. I love the game. So again, make sure to subscribe to us so you don't miss the upcoming video about psychological horror games coming in a few weeks, as well as pretty much anything else I do here on YouTube. I've been David. Thanks for watching. Until next time.